Hello and welcome to the Gary Dunn Show. My name is Gary Smith. On today's show, we're going to talk to Coach Dunn about this past weekend's Coal Bowl and talk about everything leading up to this upcoming week's opponent, the Seton Hill Griffins. But Coach, I joked with you coming in. Nice, boring weekend for you. Nothing to report. Just what status quo, right?
No, a great weekend for California. Obviously, super proud of our team and how they battled. And I'm sure we'll talk about each phase but that's just who we want to be. You know, we talk to our team about playing the next play, and it doesn't matter what happened to play before because you can't get it back. And I thought our guys really fought all game long of playing the next play, and the next play is the most important one we're ever going to play. So, I really proud of the way the guys battled, but we still got some corrections, and we still got work to do.
Well, going into this past weekend's matchup, it was a battle of two top 25 teams. And, Coach, going into this week, let's not start on Saturday. Let's start in the middle of last week. Just what's the preparation like, knowing that, A, it's a huge rivalry game, but B, I mean, there's national implications on the line?
Yeah, we try and keep everything consistent. Obviously, this year was a little bit different with us having a contest canceled before this game. So that kind of, gave us a chance to look at our schedule and regroup and really get some extra work on IUP. IUP is a heck of a football team and really well coached. They've probably played one of the toughest schedules in Division II football. I think they've played 4 or 5 top 25 teams. But it gave us a chance to start our preparation as coaches early, and I think that helped us. Gave our guys a chance. We gave them Saturday off with the game that was canceled. We practiced on Friday. We practiced on Sunday. Gave them Friday off, and then picked back up on a regular schedule Monday. But we talk about a Groundhog Day, right? It doesn't matter who you're playing. Your preparation's the same. If it was important to do week 1, then it's important to do week 8. So I thought our guys were really locked in, and that's really the difference. During that week, you ain't got there ain't much motivation needed. Our guys are locked in and excited, and they know they're going to play a really good football team. Yeah, and it was just an afternoon that, if you're going to draw up something that ends up going to be an epic finish, that's the afternoon you kind of want. It was kind of gray, windy, seasonal temperatures, but coming out, I mean, we'll start with the game. I thought, and it's going to kind of get lost with everything we're going to talk about later, but I thought that first drive going down and getting points with a 40-yard field goal was huge. That kind of, it seemed to settle your team down. It seemed to kind of quiet the IUP sideline too. Yeah, we got, had a nice play, and Noah made a nice read. We went a little max protection and threw a go ball to Tyson, and Tyson is, I tell you, doing a great job of not only beating leverage and beating the corner, but getting his hands on the ball and had a nice play there. So to get that field goal early, that was a kind of a calming deal. I think our defense started with a 3 and out. So it was, we were into the game, and we knew it was going to be a 60-minute battle.
Yeah, in that first half, it was back and forth. IUP towards the end of the first half got a couple plays and went into the halftime 23-10. But I noticed something that I don't know where we were sitting. I'm kind of on the field at IUP. Usually I'm in the press box, but I noticed something that you did. You called the team over on the sideline before going into the locker room, and that seemed to have a huge motivational factor coming out. But what was your message to the team?
Yeah, it was a crazy half, and we had some calls that went against us. We got called. I've never seen it in college football before, or the NFL for that matter. Penalty that was in the end zone that resulted in a safety. And I know I've had several calls, emails, texts, Facebook messages from alumni asking, but we have to overcome that. And things weren't going our way in the first half. And I just simply told the team, listen, we play the next play. And I said, did we come up here to play 30 minutes or did we come up here to play 60? Resounding 60 minutes. I said, all right, let's go in the locker room. Let's get with our coaches. Let's figure it out. And let's come back out and win the second half. And our guys did that.
Yeah, and definitely, it came out in the second half. And like I said, it just seemed like when you guys came out, anything in the first half was kind of wiped away. The slate was clean. And, that second half was just an epic second half. But just let's talk about, there's a couple key moments in the second half. And I thought one of the bigger ones was Noah Mitchell on a drive, goes out, Wyatt Hurt comes in, converts a key third down on a long play, and then the very next play, or maybe 2 plays after that, throws a touchdown to get you guys right back in the ballgame. What was that like, having a young man go in back up?
And Wyatt prepares. It's Wyatt's a really intelligent football player, and when you're the backup quarterback, that's a tough job because you're over there not knowing if you're going to get the call or not, and to go in cold into a game. But Wyatt's really super intelligent. He reads coverages really well. And the thing that Coach Salisbury said was he was really studying that game as it was going on. There was a couple plays where, we were throwing a little out route and, Noah, it almost got picked earlier in the game and Wyatt saw that. So Wyatt held it to get Derek Lockhart open in the idle area and threw that ball. And then the very next play was the touchdown to Cam Tarrant, which was a huge throw. Cam had another great game. And Cam's work ethic and his intelligence is why Cam's playing so well. And he's really, really playing super well right now because of his intelligence and how he works. And I think he's rubbing off. Cam don't say a word. Cam won't say boo. If you want to hear from Cam, you better hand him a whistle or something because he's not going to say anything. But I think his work ethic is really rubbing off on our other receivers.
Well, not only was that a big play for the scoreboard, but just it seemed momentum-wise because we always have a close-up camera, either quarterback or the receiver coming off to the sideline. But it just seemed like the faces on the sideline were turning from, that first half was horrible to like a lot more confidence coming in to really set up. And then the defense, let's not, talk about just all offense and everything. Defense made some key stops in that second half.
Yeah, absolutely. You go down and the one we held them to a field goal was huge because that makes it only a 10-point game. They made some big stops. They got us some turnovers. They got us a turnover early in the game that led to a touchdown, led to our first touchdown. So our defense played well. Listen, IUP's really good offensively. They have two of the premier wide receivers in Division II, really, really good football players. And our kids battled. It didn't go our way all day. Our corners gave up some fade balls. We could talk about that later. But, they were there every time. And the kid made a play. So, hey, drop it. You're in great position. Go make the next play. And that's what I thought we did.
And I thought overall the defense, the secondary played well, like you said, some turnovers. But, IUP had a couple really decent running backs coming in the game. I thought the front seven did another good job of containing. There was never a breakout run, and then also on the passing game,
I agree.
They had the IUP quarterback on the run a lot.
When I met with Coach Craig yesterday, the biggest thing for him, the biggest takeaway was that we tackled really well. Their number 3 is a really explosive player that every week you see as a 70-yard touchdown. He has an 80-yard touchdown. He got some yards on us, but he never got loose on us. Never scored a touchdown. I think his might have been 15 or 17 yards was his biggest play of the day. And that was a big message going in, that we've got to eliminate the big plays. We've got to make them drive the field. And I thought the defense did a good job of that.
Well, that leads up to the last crazy couple minutes of the game. With 5 minutes to go, Caillou was trailing by 10, 34, 24. But then your team has a drive to go down, and then just an amazing catch for a touchdown by Lockhart to make it a 3-point game. What was the message going into that drive with 5 minutes to go, backs against the wall?
Yeah, always the same message. Play the next play. We can't. There's no 10-point possessions. We got to make the best of this possession. We got to get on score. I really like our guys in 2-minute drill. We practice it every week, good on good, 11 on 11. Every Tuesday we do 2-minute drill versus our defense. And in the last few weeks, the offense has really been clicking in that 2-minute drill. Noah's a super intelligent quarterback that's going to make hopefully great decisions, but if he doesn't like a play call and he thinks something else is there, we give him the authority to check to it. I believe he did a couple plays during that drive. He's setting protection, but give the offensive line credit now because we really protected well against a good pass rushing team. They had a bunch of sacks and pressures the week before against Slippery Rock, and our offensive line did a really good job, especially on the 2 defensive ends. So the message was just like, hey, let's go put one in the end zone, and then we'll play the next play and see if we can get the onside kick.
Yeah, and so Cal scores to make it 34-31. Everybody in the country knows the onside kick is going there. Didn't get the second bounce. Looked like it was a good kick, just never got that second turf bounce. But, again, looking, we had a camera on the defense going out, but there was no panic. I mean, 2 timeouts left. If they do their job, they're going to get a chance. But, give the all 11 guys on the defense credit because in a tough situation, they held IUP to 3 and out.
Yeah, we had 2 timeouts left, and we were talking about it beforehand. I said, I'm going to call them right away, first and second down. Sometimes, you may let them run first down and then, call it after second or third when you have 2 timeouts. But I thought, maybe I can force them into throwing the football on third down. So if we call it on first down, we stop. We call it on second down, maybe they'll throw it on third down. IUP's well coached. They're not going to do that. So they ran it on third down, got it down to 38 or 40 seconds left, took a delay a game, and then the big play on the punt.
Yeah, and let's talk about that big play. And it seems like for the past couple of years, we've always talked special teams. There's always going to be, it's rare if we go 1 or 2 games without having a big special teams play. And, this one was probably the biggest one, at least that I've seen in a while, probably the biggest one in a long time. Less than a minute left. Everyone, knows it's a punt. All IUP pretty much has to do is get the punt off. But your special teams just blew up the block, a key block, and then sets up a 34, 40-yard drive.
I tell you, that was the plan all week. was, and Coach Wilson does a great job on our special teams. His plan was that if IUP was backed up, we were going to play return game. If IUP got on the plus side of the 50, we were going to go after the punt because we felt like their punter did a really good job of kicking it down to the corner and pinning you deep. So we felt like if we could at least put pressure on him in that situation, that would give us an opportunity. And we added one guy to the rush. He added we're usually a two returner system. We added Cam off the back edge, Cam Tarrant off the back edge to try and hold that last wing. And it was either we put them in a situation where they either had to block Derek Lockhart or they had to block Dom Solomon. They chose to block Derek. Dom came free, big play. Now I wish Jacob Siebel would have scooped and scored that, and then we would have taken a little more pressure off us. But a great play, and that's what we preach to our guys. Don't worry about the last play. This is the most important play that you're going to play right now. They sold out and did a great job.
I tell you what, if you look at the replay, which we saw several times, they had a possibility of 3 Vulcans blocking that punt, and there was only a tremendous play by either the punter or the up man to save that scoop and score. But so, Cal, you guys get the ball back, 40-yard line, less than 55. I think it was our 34.
30, yeah.
Something about that. And let's just talk about that drive. I mean,
yeah,
there was no panic.
No timeouts. The first play, Noah does a great job, and the key to it was we got a first down. So that's going to stop the clock. So they set the change. So they were rushing 3 and dropping 8, which is what IUP does in long down and late situations. So we get the first down. We spike the ball on second down. The next play, we line up in trips to the field, and we go Panthers, and Noah understands versus drop 8. He's got to buy a little time. He scrambles a little bit, gets out, and hits Cam Tarrant. And again, what we talk about earlier, Cam Tarrant is a super intelligent football player. He gets out of bounds. So that saves us from having to down the ball. Again, that was a big moment. So that gave us opportunity to talk about what we were going to do. And after that play, I think we line up. IUP calls a timeout. So now we're on the headsets. It's Coach Wilson, it's Coach Dorsch, it's me, it's Coach Salisbury, and it's Noah. And we're talking about what we're going to do. And what I said, we're going for the win 1. And we're going to throw it 3 straight times. There was talk, do we try and run it here? And if we don't get it, we get up and spike it. I said, no, we're going to put it in Noah's and our receivers' hands because they were having a good day. We're going to throw it 3 straight times and then kick the field goal late on 4th down if we need to. We only needed that one play for Noah to make a great throw, and super, super happy for Tyson Hill. Tyson is a worker, and first touchdown of the year. I bet he'd take that one over any of them the whole year. But just the way our kids battled and competed, that's who we want to be at Cal U football. IUP's a really good football team, really well coached. Like I said earlier, they played 4 or 5 top 25 teams, and to get out of there with a win in that fashion was great.
Well, that touchdown, you didn't really do it justice. That was a work of art, that game-winning touchdown pass. Back shoulder throw, Tyson Hill goes up, elevates. If you measure as vertical, that might be a number 1 vertical in the country on that play, but gets a foot down, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful throw. But the game's not over there. There's still a kick to defend. After the play, there was a unsportsmanlike call. So you're kicking from, I believe, the 20-yard line.
Yeah.
And that's just
not happy. But I'm going to talk to the team about it today. We had some guys run out on the field in excitement and got us a penalty there, which I wasn't real happy with at the time, but it's understandable, but it's something we've got to do a better job of. So we kick off from the 20, and Anthony Bico, that was a big kick. He put it right where Coach Wilson told him to put it. We had talked right after we scored the touchdown. Coach Wilson came up to me and said, listen, I'm not going to kick it deep to the returner. I'm going to squib it, or I'm going to sky kick it to one of their up guys. I said, perfect. Well, once you get backed up to the 20, you can't squib it because now you're risking giving it to them on the 50-yard line. They got a Hail Mary situation. Yep. So he told him to kick it deep left, kicked it right where he wanted it to, and our cover team covered. They were down there. That was a big play. I think that may have took 6 or 7 seconds, so that gives them one play. 6 seconds left to go in the game. They could throw an out, maybe get out of bounds. They had no timeouts, so we knew it was going to be a one-play deal. We just got to get it done. And then obviously Jamal Martin comes up with the interception. Talked to Jamal right after the game. We need to get down in that situation. But that's our guys. They just want to compete. They don't care, what it is. He got his hands on the ball. He wants to go score. I said, well, we're going to be a little bit smarter. He said, Coach, I would have never fumbled it. I said, I don't want to take the chance. Get down and let's get on the bus and go home and celebrate with our family.
Well, and another thing on that interception to seal the game, we had a close-up camera on you for the end of the game. And I think your 40 time might have been top 5 in the country after that interception when you go on the field to celebrate with your team.
Well, I was trying to get our guys down to our end. We're still under COVID protocols, and you talk to the guys before the game. League rule, we're not really allowed to shake hands, which is really hard because all these kids are friends. They all, and that's one of the things we talk about every year is the regional rivalries. And we've got guys that work out in the summer with their guys, and guys that went to high school with their guys. So and our guys were excited. So I was trying to get our guys down to our side of the field. I thought IUP handled it very classy. That's a tough way to lose a ball game, and I thought they handled it really classy. Coach Tortorella is a really good guy. Got a lot of respect for him and his coaching staff. But I was trying to get him down to our end, and then after that, who knows? The Cole Bowl Trophy, they're over with the cheerleaders and the whole deal. It was surreal.
And I think you might have talked to everybody in red and black in that last 10 minutes after the game was over and before you got in the locker room. But let's talk about that for a little bit. The atmosphere Saturday in the Cal sideline. We've said all year the best way is to watch Cal games, and I don't know they've listened to us but it's just such a great support staff of the fans, the parents, the band traveled. I thought it was almost like Adamson Stadium was moved 50 miles to the east.
I tell you, the last 5 minutes of that game, I know that the Cal side was a lot louder than the other side. That's for sure. We had a number of alumni there, guys that I had played with, guys from the mid '80s teams, guys. A ton of guys from the 60s that were there. Of course, my phone blew up after the game from all the alumni, which is awesome because we got the best alumni in the league. But our parents, did a great job, and the cheerleaders and the band and just the students that came. I saw a ton of students up there. It was a great day for college football, and that's why I love the PSAC is those regional rivalries bring it out. Pitt doesn't play Penn State anymore. Pitt doesn't play West Virginia anymore. Big 12. Whatever, ACC, all that stuff. The PSAC is great for regional rivalries, and I had alumni. Terry O'Shea, one of our alumni, said thanks for the free dinner. Him and one of his friends, an IUP grad, that bet dinner on the game. So, just a special day for everybody in red and black.
Yeah, we always talk about the phrase Vulcan Nation. It really is a nation, and whenever that game finally, Jamal Martin was finally tackled and the game was over, you just felt like you just heard a release and just a roar that. The last time I think we heard a roar like that was the last IEP Cole Bowl at night at home with, the miracle ending of that with a 100-yard touchdown run.
Well, it's funny. One of the coaches, I think it might have been Coach Wilson or Coach Craig, I'm not sure, said, I've never seen so many parents from an opposing team be on the field after a game and a visiting. Like, there was no security keeping our families and fans off that field. There was people everywhere, which was awesome. And our guys deserve it. They're working hard. They've been through a lot. But now we got to get back to work today. We're going to meet on this at 2 o'clock, and this is over. We got to move on because we've got a tough Seton Hill team coming in here that's playing really good football right now.
Well, real quick before we look at the highlights, just some stats. Noah Mitchell, 30 of 43, 4 touchdowns, 359. Your offense threw for 5 touchdowns. Wyatt Hurd had the other touchdown. But then if you look at the receiving, Derek Lockhart, 9 receptions, 153 yards, 2 touchdowns, and not just 2 touchdowns, 2 highlight reel touchdowns.
Sure.
And then on the defensive side, Jamal Martin Jr., 9 total tackles, 5 solos, 2.5 tackles for loss, and an interception. So a lot of people filling up the stat sheet, and just a great afternoon for college football. But, Coach, we've talked about it enough. Let's take a look at the highlights from Cole Bowl 12 this past Saturday at IUP.
Steps back in the pocket, firing, and it is brought in, hauled in by Tarrant. Dropping back, Woodbury firing down the middle, and it's caught by Kayshaw Carter, and the Crimson Hawks strike back. Quick pass, again to the same target, and this time he doesn't miss, as that's Irvin Charles bringing it in for the Crimson Hawk touchdown. Mitchell takes the snap, steps up in the pocket, firing deep for Derek Lockhart, and he brings it in for the Cal U touchdown. Derek Lockhart. Hurt, airing it out to the back of the end zone. It's caught. It is caught. Cal U gets a touchdown, and who else is it other than Cam Tarrant? Mitchell, flag is thrown deep in the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Cal U. It's Derek Lockhart. And they are going to punt this one away. It was blocked by Cal U. It was picked up immediately. And what a play by Cal U as they blocked the punt.
That's number 28.
Jacob Siegel The snap. Mitchell to Hill. And it's caught!
Touchdown!
Tyson Hill! Tyson Hill brings it in for the Cal U touchdown, and the Falcons are losing it on the sidelines. What a quiet IUP crowd as Tyson Hill brings in the touchdown. Woodbury back in the pocket, firing deep downfield. 2-1. It's intercepted! It's intercepted by Jamal Jr. Jamal Martin Jr. He's taking it in IUP territory. He's still going, and he's finally brought down. And your winners at the 12th annual Coal Bowl are the Cal U Vulcans, and they storm Miller Field.
Backed by popular demand and better than ever is late night dining in the Natali Student Center. Join us starting Monday, October 18th at the hot spot for evening dining, Natali Evening Eats, located on the second floor of Natali next to Umami. Open Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. and on weekends, 7:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. Natali Evening Eats is a one-stop shop for your favorite menu items. Orders can be placed through our mobile app or at the designated Evening Eats kiosk. We can't wait to see you there.
Election Day, November 2nd, 2021 is just around the corner. Check your status or find your polling place. Visit calu.edu/vote to find links to all this information. Check out this non-partisan website, vote411.org, put together by the League of Women Voters to preview your ballot so you can know what's on it ahead of time. The last day to register to vote in the state of PA is October 18th, 2021, and the last date to request a mail-in or absentee ballot is October 26th, 2021.
Are going to punt this one away. It was blocked by Cal U. It was picked up immediately. And what a play by Cal U as they blocked the punt.
That's number 28.
Jacob Siegel. The snap. Mitchell to Hill. And it's caught!
Touchdown!
Tyson Hill! Tyson Hill brings it in for the Cal U touchdown. And the Falcons are losing it on the sidelines. What a quiet IUP crowd. Woodbury back in the pocket, firing deep downfield. 2-1. It's intercepted. It's intercepted by Jamal Jr. Jamal Martin Jr. He's taking it in IUP territory. He's still going, and he's finally brought down. And your winners at the 12th annual Coal Bowl are the Cal U Vulcans.
And welcome back to the Gary Dunn Show. You just saw the plays of the week, and I say plays because we just couldn't encapsulate one play. So you saw the block punt, the touchdown, and then the interception to end the Coal Bowl. But, Coach, we've talked about it ad nauseum. Just a great win, great atmosphere. Like I said, everybody in red and black left IUP happy, and especially you're the happiest.
Absolutely. Yeah, just again, our kids battle, and that's what college football is all about. And if we can continue to do that, then good things are going to happen for us.
And I was actually surprised you don't have the Coal Bowl with you, because I know after the game, I don't think you were letting that out of your sight for a while. So
yeah, no, I handed it off to Steph Brown because it was crazy after the game when they were doing the presentation. Our guys had went over to celebrate with our band and cheerleaders, which we always do at home games. Mm-hmm. So I had to get the trophy by myself. I would much rather our captains got been in that situation. But I called Steph over, gave it to him, and they took it over with the band and cheerleaders, which was fitting for those guys coming up and supporting us.
Yeah, that's one of the best traditions is seeing the team come in front of the band, and it's always good to hear the fight song at the end. I think it's one of the best fight songs in college football. But Coach, let's look back at this past weekend's action across the PSAC. In the West, we'll start with Slippery Rock over Mercyhurst in a close one, 20-17 at Mercyhurst. Gannon in a close one against Edinburgh, 21-18. And then the last PSAC West game, Seton Hill 49, Clarion nothing. If you move over the East, just a barn burner of a game between Shepherd and Westchester. Shepherd gets the win 42-38 at home. And then East Stroudsburg getting a 35-14 win over the Bloomsburg Huskies. Shippensburg 38, Millersville 7, and then Kutztown winning 32-15. Now switching over to, I know what Coach is going to turn away from on the screen, the standings. We'll look at the West first. You got to be happy. Kyle U, number 1. It's still a lot of football to play, but top of the PSAC, then Slippery Rock, IUP, and the rest. And then looking over in the East, Kutztown has a 1-game lead over Shepherd, 5-0. Is Kutztown and Shepherd 4-1, Shippensburg 3-2. So we're coming towards the last 2 weeks of divisional play, Coach. And you have another rivalry game coming in. It's not a historic rivalry because Seton Hill's only been in the league and playing football for inside of 20 years, but it's our closest physical school, and there's been some tough matchups in the last couple of years, and this is a divisional game, and Seton Hill definitely wants to play spoiler.
Yeah, Seton Hill's playing really good football right now. They had a big win against Clarion this weekend. Defensively, they're very active. They're very aggressive. They can run. They're big. They're doing a really good job defensively. Offensively, they haven't really got it all clicking every week, but they got a nice quarterback. They got a tailback that's running for 100 yards. They're a balanced offense. I think they throw for about 160 and they run for about 150 a game. So, they're putting 300-plus yards up and doing a nice job. But it starts with their defense for them. They've held everybody down. They're going to play man coverage. They're going to blitz. They're going to play a different defense than anybody we see all year long. IUP's been running the same defense for 30 years that they run. They're going to do what they do, and they do it really well. This is going to be a big mental preparation week for us because Seton Hill does do some unorthodox things, moving guys around, standing guys up, blitzing everywhere. So it's going to be a big mental week for our offense.
Now, flipping the script, offensively, what does Seton Hill do? What kind of a scheme do they run?
They're similar to us. They're going to try and stay balanced. They'll spread it out. Very similar college offense to us. I haven't watched them as much as I've watched their defense so far. This is usually what I do this afternoon. Coach Craig and Coach Turner and Coach Wells and those guys are on those guys right now. But they're a balanced offense. So we've got to eliminate big plays. We've got to create turnovers, and offensively we better be on top of our game because they're really good defensively.
And that's going to be Saturday at 4 p.m. a later start for your team this week. And it seems like we haven't been at Adamson Stadium a while with the no contest a couple weeks ago. So how excited are you to get back on home turf?
Yeah, last home game of the year, last regular season home game of the year. It's good to honor our seniors and get the Vulcan Nation back together.
And I tell you what, this touch about the seniors real quick. This has got to be an interesting senior class just because of everything that's gone on with the COVID year and everything. Just talk about what they've brought to the table, just getting through the COVID year and getting through this season so far.
Yeah, it's great leadership. I think we have really good leadership, and we don't have a ton of seniors, but the ones we do are great leaders for us. And with everybody getting that extra year, I don't want to name anybody in particular. We can probably talk about it next week, but just great guys that have shown our underclassmen what Cal U football is about, from how we act off the field to how we act on the field to what we do in the classroom to how we represent this program, this institution, and this university speaks volume to those guys.
And that will be 4 o'clock on Saturday once again. As we said earlier, the best way to enjoy Vulcan football is to come on out to Adamson Stadium. Coach said it's going to be 80 degrees and sunny. I don't know if it's true, but
it is. I checked today.
So you can take that to the bank. 80 degrees and sunny. Come early, tailgate, come into the stadium, have a big home atmosphere because, as Coach mentioned earlier, having that home atmosphere, that crowd behind you just makes a whole heck of a lot of difference.
Yeah, Vulcan Nation, we need you this week. We need you to come over to Adamson Stadium and enjoy the tailgating, but then get into the stadium at game time and let's be loud for this group of guys.
And if you can't make it to Adamson Stadium, if you're a few states away, CUTV and WCAL have you covered. The game will be live on our YouTube page, CUTV Sports 1. It'll also be live on our portal on the PSAC network, and then the radio station, 91.9 FM WCAL, will have the game as well. So, Coach, congratulations on a great win, and can't wait to see you on Saturday taking on the Seton Hill Griffins.
Time to move on to the next. Thank you.
For Coach Dunn, I'm Gary Smith. We'll see you next week on The Gary Dunn Show.